Welcome to Series Pulse. Today we will be discussing the top 10 best movies of all time. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. IMDb continues to be one of the most prominent websites for movie information on the internet. Their top-rated movies list is made up of films that have received a lot of positive feedback from fans. However, while the list is always changing, the top films have remained largely identical for a couple of years at this point. According to the ratings on IMDb, these are the top 10 best movies of all time. Number 10, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, 2001. The Fellowship of the Rings, the first installment of Peter Jackson's tremendously successful fantasy trilogy, was released in 2001. Fans were transported to Middle-earth, where Frodo Baggins and a band of heroes set out to destroy a powerful One Ring before it can be used for evil by the evil wizard Sauron, as described in J.R.R. Tolkien's works. The film does an excellent job of introducing us to this lovely environment and its inhabitants. The straightforward but fascinating journey is packed with excitement, terror, and action. It's easy to see why fans were captivated to this property from the beginning of the series. Number 9, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966. The so-called spaghetti westerns transformed the course of Western filmmaking forever, introducing audiences to new and innovative methods of filmmaking that had never been seen before. The film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is widely considered to be the classic entry in this category. A request for buried wealth in the midst of the Civil War is the focus of this film, which follows three deadly men on their journey. The picture contributed to the popularization of the Mexican standoff troupe, which is still employed in action films today, established Clint Eastwood as a star, and provided moviegoers with one of the most memorable film scores of all time. Number 8, Pulp Fiction, 1994. In the film industry, Quentin Tarantino is one of the most well-known directors of all time. His distinct voice, wide camera knowledge, and predilection for combining hysterical comedy with severe violence served as an inspiration to the generation of directors who followed him. Pulp Fiction is often recognized as his magnum opus, and it's difficult to disagree with the assessment. The video swings back and forth between numerous stories set in the underground of Los Angeles. Tarantino takes well-known crime stories and gives them a unique touch that is all his own. The picture is surprisingly and fast-paced, with constantly quotable language, and it is all backed up by a wonderful soundtrack that adds to the overall experience. Often imitated, but never reproduced, the work of art. Number 7, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003. There were few who believed that adapting the enormous Lord of the Rings series for the big screen would be possible, but director Peter Jackson proved them all incorrect. With The Return of the King, director Peter Jackson completed one of the greatest film trilogies of all time in a way that was both satisfying and fitting. The quest to destroy the One Ring comes to a dramatic conclusion in the film. As much as many have criticized the picture for dragging out its conclusion, Jackson and his team did an excellent job tying everything together in his emotional extravaganza that included some absolutely fantastic battle moments. Number 6, Schindler's List, 1993. Steven Spielberg is well known for directing some of the most acclaim-worthy films of all time, including Jaws and The Dark Knight Rises. But it is his most difficult film to see the receivers of highest ranking, which is appropriate as it is one of the most accomplished works as a director. Oskar Schindler's real-life narrative of his endeavors to save Jewish residents under the Nazi regime in Germany is depicted in the film Schindler's List, a harrowing portrayal of the true story of Oskar Schindler and his attempts to save Jewish children during the Nazi regime in Germany. In spite of the fact that Schindler, in history, is an inspiring figure, the film is mostly a powerful and horrifying representation of the Holocaust. Spielberg crafted a picture that will linger in the minds of audiences for years to come, thanks to its unsettling black and white photography. Number 15, 12 Angry Men, 1957. 12 Angry Men, directed by Sidney Lumet, is a smaller-scale film, but it doesn't make its impact any less significant. The action of the film takes place almost exclusively within a jury room, as the 12 angry men deliberate over a murder case they have just completed. The video depicts the ensuing life or death dispute, which is dominated by one voice maintaining that the accused is innocent. While the environment may appear to be uninteresting, it actually contributes to the film's sense of intensity. The filmmaking does an excellent job of making the room appear more and more restricted as the conversation progresses. The feeling of being confined contributes to the overall atmosphere. It's a stunning demonstration of how small-scale films can have a large impact. Number 4, The Dark Knight, 2008. Despite the fact that the superhero genre does not garner a great deal of appreciation from most moviegoers, Christopher Nolan's second Batman feature shown that it is capable of delivering intelligent, grandiose, and thrilling films. During his frantic attempt to prevent the Joker from destroying Gotham, Batman hunts for someone to take on the position of the city's defender, which is depicted in The Dark Knight. The film has a scene of crime epic, with some spectacular set pieces and unexpected twists and turns. The late Heath Ledger's captivating portrayal of the anarchist Joker, however, is what the picture is most renowned for. Number 3, The Godfather Part 2, 1974. Francis Ford Coppola's decision to make a sequel to his critically praised crime drama, The Godfather Part 2, may have sounded like a ridiculous idea at the time, but it turned out to be a very excellent idea. Without the presence of Marlon Brando in his legendary role, the picture depicts the story of young Vito Corleone, who is played by Robert De Niro, who transforms into a character of Vito. In addition to those incredible flashback scenes, the sequel chronicles Michael's continued plunge into the world of crime, as well as his troubled relationship with his brother Fredo in the present day. A wonderful continuation of the previous work, as well as a masterpiece in its own right. Number 2, The Godfather, 1972. Despite the fact that The Godfather Part 2 is one of the most critically regarded films of all time, it's not the highest-ranking film in the Godfather trilogy. The distinction belongs to the original. There is a lot of dispute among moviegoers over which is the superior film, but it is reasonable to say that they are both monumental achievements in the history of cinema. Following the nearly assassination of their patriarch, the Corleone family, an Italian-American mafia family, struggles to keep control of their organization and their territory. The film is violent, humorous, passionate, emotional, and many more things at the same time. There are several quotable lines and memorable events throughout the film. It is considered as one of the most inspirational films by so many of today's talented directors, and that's understandable. Number 1, The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. It should come as no surprise that the highest-ranking film of all time is also one of the most popular films of all time with the general public. The Shawshank Redemption manages to be a remarkably cheerful story, despite the fact that it takes place entirely within a maximum security prison. The plot, which is based on the Stephen King novel, is told over the course of several years at a titular jail, and it revolves around a friendship between two inmates. In addition to being one of the most heartwarming friendships ever depicted on screen, the bond between the two men contributes to this film's lovely moments, which culminate in one of the most memorable endings in film history. It was nominated for 7 Academy Awards in 1995, the most ever for a Stephen King film adaptation. Best Picture, Marvin. Best Actor, Freeman. Best Adapted Screenplay, Darabont. Best Cinematography, Deakins. Best Film Editing, Richard Francis Bruce. Best Sound, Robert J. Litt, Elliot Tyson, Michael Herbick, and Willie D. Burton. And Best Original Score, James Newton Howard. Newman, his first Academy Award nomination. It did not take place in any of the categories. Freeman and Darabont were both nominated for Golden Globe Awards for their performances in the film, which got nominations for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture and Best Screenplay respectively. Awarded for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Leading Role at the first ever Screen Actors Guild Awards, Robbins and Freeman were both nominated for the same award in 1995. He was nominated for a Directors Guild of America Award in 1994 for Best Director of a Feature Picture, as well as a Writers Guild of America Award in 1995 for Best Adapted Screenplay. Darabont is a member of the Directors Guild of America. Deakins was awarded the Outstanding Achievement in Cinematography Award by the American Society of Cinematographers, while producer Nicky Marvin was nominated for a Golden Laurel Award by the Producers Guild of America in 1994 for her work on the film. What do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thank you so much for watching.